Hello everyone, Daniel here. Welcome back to the Phantom Train channel, and thank you all so much to everyone for the positive reception to the old Somerset Andy layout that I have here. As some of you may have already seen, this is Somerset Andy's old train set layout that was bequeathed to me by his sister and his family, which I'm ever so grateful for still, and I'm so grateful to them for their kindness, and again to everyone who has shown keen interest in this layout. I'm sorry for the lack of updates on this. I've been very busy. As you know, I've been going to all sorts of different railways around the southwest, showing off all sorts of different trains, different special events that are going on, because this has become such a brand new and big thing for me that I've really engulfed myself in learning more about trains, preservation. So a good chunk of my time has been going to different railway events, just visiting heritage railways, doing a bit of train spotting, and also just maybe going to the old model railway show here or there. One of them will be a new video coming up soon on my visit to the Wells Model Railway exhibition in the city of Wells in Somerset. But while I'm here, I can finally give you guys an update on all the work I've been doing to Frome Parkway and everything I've done to complete what Andy had already started. So the first thing you'll see here, the grey, dull looking, brownish looking area of the garage is finally finished. I finally managed to get around to painting the road so that it looks like a proper garage road now, which I think honestly does make it stand out and look nicer. And I don't know if you notice here, but along the side here I've actually laid down the hedging. You know, I talked about how much I like using the hedging because one, it's a very easy, and two, a very cheap way of separating the track from the road, which is something I really wanted to really focus on, because you don't want anyone running onto the tracks or causing trouble. You need to make sure that you can lay something down. Actually, thinking about that, I need to do something about the fencing, but that is something I'll come up to next time. But yeah, it all finally looks a lot more fleshed out in this area with the bush that will keep the road separate from the track. And also, as you can see here, I've actually added a small window cleaner and this little bucket down there, just something to sort of add a bit more scenery if you look around. Because that's one thing about, something I've learned a lot from doing this, is that it's not just about the trains going along the track, it's also about the small little things that you find when you go along. Like, you know, when you travel on a passenger train and there's a blink and you miss it thing, even when you travel on a heritage railway, you see something like maybe the old bird. Like I'm looking right now, there's a butterfly outside this window. Sorry, that's distracting me. But yeah, you get the picture. You look outside and you see all this amazing scenery, and you're just surrounded by the majesty of it all. And whilst we're on the subject of the small additions along here, so one thing I've done is I found this small box of metal rubbish bins, and I've dotted those around different buildings whilst moving some of the people around as well, so that, you know, you're ready for collection day. Also, the little corner shop and post office finally has a post van now, for the Royal Mail, because I've managed to put a couple, let's say, post people down here, a couple more post boxes, just stuff to sort of flesh it out. That one is actually a lot more modern, whereas a lot more of the cars around here are a lot more classic. Then again, I don't know what era Andy did intend for this to be. If I do find an older post van, maybe I'll replace that one, but it could stay there for now. One thing I do need to change is the road crossing. I think when we were transporting it from his old house to my parents' house, unfortunately, one of the cardboard inserts actually probably got lost. We haven't found it yet, so I need to think of something to replace that. Maybe I can just remake that and just complete it all again, but that's something I need to think about. Now then, I mentioned earlier about separating the track from the road, and I thought for more like town side, I thought about maybe getting some of that iron fencing that you see around more industrial railways or quarries and things, and I put it along around the outside just to keep the track and the road and the town even separate. And I think that does actually do the job really well. It's a bit wobbly in places. This is actually something totally new for us. My dad had to make a reference in order to go back to properly curve it around the line, because the first time it was a bit close to the track, but we did manage to fix that. This time it's a bit further away from the track, but it still does have a good bit of separation. I tested out by running the class 20 around the line to make sure that it did not collide with the fence, because it did do that once, but we did manage to get it fixed again. It's not perfect, but then again, over time these fences do tend to bend and warp anyway, so I think it does look quite fitting for the layout. And again, we're learning so much from doing all this. I've also taken some extra time to decorate around the outside of the castle and add a small play area here, see? So there I've built a small slide for kids to play on. When you go to, and this is what I've been planning for the castle, because Andy sort of had this whole like old Halloween castle thing. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but one thing I decided to do was I want to turn this into St. Andrew's Castle. I want to make it into some sort of mock-up National Trust or English Heritage site with a small playground as well for kids to play on. When you go to National Trust and there's always a playground? Well, I wanted to add something along those lines. So I wanted to have a little ode to Andy somehow in the layout, which I thought would be a nice tribute to him. Once I'm finished with that and I work out how to do that, I'll be so excited to show you what that all looks like in the future. And along here you'll see I finally filled out the other dull looking wood bit with some more ballast. My dad found some old PVA glue in his garage. It was quite hard to work with because it was old and lumpy and separated, so I had to sort of mix it up a bit. So yeah, I used that and a bit of some water, and we started practicing with an old piece of wood, brushed on some, and then laid a little bit of the ballast, the limestone ballast from Hornby Scenics, and it worked really well. So we just did that, and the other day I actually, going back to the Wells model railway show, I actually got one of these syringes of glue droppers, so I'm going to be able to finally finish off the ballast. Maybe I'll do that later today. It's just finishing everything else, but I think it looks so much better now. There's still some bare bits of wood, but I am still in the process of finishing it off, and I'll hopefully lay down all the ballast as I go. When I was last on holiday in the New Forest, we found some PVA glue for £1 on clearance, and I've been using it to sort of touch up areas. And that's one of the main things I've been using, this tacky PVA glue. This was from W.H. Smith. It was on clearance, because I found these little wedding people and priests and all that inside this box, and we had the idea to make a wedding scene with a nice, fabulous arch. And actually, I need to add it to the layout, but my mum, who's also very creative, has actually made me an arch using some wire and some beads. And I think it looks really cute, and I think it will really add to the majesty of the layout. So a little church scene with a wedding going on. I've also got some little peoples in suits. I need to find some women in dresses as well to add to it, but something to flesh out the scene and make it look really, really nice. Just something I thought would be an adorable little addition Imagine having a wedding by a train scene. It's something quite magical, actually. That's basically what has been going on. This is all of the work that me, my dad, and even my mom have been doing to the layout. And I still got loads of work to go. Like, I still need to finish off some of the ballasting. I want to finish off the wedding scene and add some more additions. Even today, I went to the East Somerset Railway model shop and got a few more models. So for the castle, I'm going to add some dog walkers as well. And actually, one thing I do want to talk about, I had trouble standing up the wedding figures because they kept falling over because of how limp they are. But I was looking around, I noticed that some of the figures had clear platforms, which helped to stand the figures up. So I found some clear packaging, like some more command strips, cut it out on this board here, and I glued them on with the PVA. And it worked so well. It was such an easy tactic. I spent so much time trying to stand them up. I realized, wait, I'm wasting my time. That really saved me time. So I'm going to start doing this to some of the figures too, and it'll help probably stand them up. Some figures can stand up on their own accord if they're flexed out, but it does help to have the extra weight. And lastly, the only other thing I got today was a small scarecrow figure to go into one of the gardens, which I've also fleshed out. Added a lot more. I do need to think about adding more to the garden. There is one garden that needs some extra love, but something will come to mind. It's not an overall major issue for me. It's just about having fun and playing with it, which I'm gonna start doing some more work now that I've got a day off of work. But yeah, it's all coming along, and I think once it's all finished, it's gonna look absolutely fabulous. I've been learning so much about scale modeling and the layout setting from doing all of this and watching videos like, you know, from the Model Railway guy, even Ivor Junction and loads of other people. What's the other guy? BBC. So many people that I've started speaking to. And again, I'm so grateful to everyone who's been watching all my videos. I don't know what I'm going to do once railway season slows down. I do have Train Sim World, and I do have, like I said, I am a gamer. I do stream on Twitch, so if you like things like retro gaming or PC gaming, horror games, I'll link my main channels in the description below. But if you're not into that thing and you're more into trains, I can maybe play some Train Sim World one day. Maybe I could find some other video games about trains and play those, just to add some different content. But until then, I'm going to keep on enjoying the railway season as much as possible. Maybe I'll do some more model railway videos. I've got so many ideas for this channel going forward, knowing that it's starting to slowly grow in popularity, and I have so much more I want to do, that honestly, it's quite hard for me to put into words. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm going to get back to work. Thank you all so much for all the support on my videos, and thanks for watching this one. If you like what's been going on here and want to see more and see all my other railway visits, train spotting videos, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to find out when new videos are coming out. You won't have to miss out. And until next time, I want to wish you all a lovely day, evening, or night. I'll see you all soon. Take care.